this is Kim O'Brien, founder and CEO of AssessBEST, and this is the recommendation portion of the demonstration of the AssessBEST Guaranteed Insurance Solutions platform. You are in your assessment, you're in your open assessments, and you've completed an assessment, and now you're going to make some product recommendations. You've called your marketing organizations. You've probably even emailed them the assessment report on your clients so that they can help find the latest product and the latest features and the best interest rates or best index crediting rates that may be available today to best meet those needs and concerns of that customer. And you're going to be making a recommendation. So you're going to go into the recommendation reporting system. Once you make a recommendation, you will actually put in the key components of what we call the compliance checkpoints. This is our unique system where we've aligned 9 critical elements of the product recommendation, the product features that best align with that customer's needs, goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon that will best protect you in a impartial conduct, best interest standards, regulatory world. And you will plug in that information. Initially, this information will be plugged in by you or that marketer, that individual at the marketing organization. This summer, we will be incorporating a platform that will automatically populate once you add the company and product name. But we gather this information, again, to make sure that it is aligned with the key elements of the customer's needs, risk tolerance, and time horizon. You will identify any fees that might be available, applied in that recommendation. Obviously, if it's an income rider, it may have fees. We want to know what the initial premium is required for the solution, the funding source that you've chosen, that customer has chosen to fund that information, and the net worth that is remaining. This is auto-calculated by the information you've provided in the assessment process. Also the liquidity, what liquid assets remain, again auto-populated from the assessment. Whether there's a reverse mortgage, of course, you know that is a key no-no in all suitability forms for most carriers. So we want that to be unchecked, obviously. And whether you believe this meets the suitability guidelines that are unique to that company regarding, obviously, net worth, liquidity, and other aspects of the company's specific suitability requirements. We also asked you to identify what objectives have been met. This will be a core element of your documentation and defense of your recommendation. If you do not meet an objective, there may be a good reason. Either you or your client decided not to pursue that objective, and you don't check it, and you tell us what that is so that the system knows, and that should we need a supervising financial institution under the DOL regulation, your supervising financial institution will know that as well. Any additional objectives that also have been met that maybe weren't identified by the customer but the product actually delivers will also be retained. What guaranteed insurance gaps have been resolved by this recommendation. You can upload any illustrations in the system at any time. I will also show you in a minute another nice feature of uploading any information. Our system is not just for uploading illustrations, but it's any documentation that you want to include in your customer's record. Here is our compensation. Right now, this is an optional feature for customer delivery until we have a better understanding of what carriers and/or the rule will require on June 9th. But it is good for you to document because this is what we do that really justifies and demonstrates how reasonably compensated our products are. You will put in the compensation for a specific product that you're recommending, and then we show what that means according to surrender period of that product and what it means by mortality, because these are, after all, insurance products, either priced for lifetime income, legacy income, or protection until death. And so based on the oldest person's mortality, actually this is based, on the youngest mortality if there's a couple, and this is that compensation to mortality, and can easily demonstrate for any questioner that this is a reasonable recommendation for a customer. And then if there is a funding source that has a fee involved, what that fee may be. And again, to demonstrate the reasonability of the recommendation and the comp that is being received. This is another great place where you can add additional notes for consideration, things that you or your customers shared with you. This gets to the qualitative aspect of your recommendation. It's not just about quantitative information, time horizon, risk tolerance, scores, calcs. It's also about that qualitative information that they shared with you about their goals, concerns, and meaningful information that the system does not ask for, but you can actually document and retain for the record. And once we have that, we get to a customer recommendation report. Now this is where I was telling you I was going to show you can add anything in this. 10 Reasons to Love Annuities, a Wall Street Journal article you may have shared with your customer, retirement seminar invitation that you sent. Again, records that will actually defend and protect you from any inquiry from regulators or litigators. So let's view that recommendation report. Now that recommendation report actually includes the assessment report that was sent earlier. These are automatically checked and can be unchecked unless there is a determination that that's a requirement in disclosure, but right now it is not, so we're still working out those details, but you can uncheck it so you can determine what the customer sees and doesn't see. When we have more determination of what those requirements may be from either carriers or from the Department of Labor in specific, we will make those mandatory should we have to based on the that information from the regulators or the carriers. So now we'll print up that report. This report is 6 pages. It includes that 3-page assessment report that you already produced for your customer. And it also includes the comparative analysis of the software, of the product solution that you're recommending. Let's wait a few minutes. While we talk about that, what AssessBEST also provides is everything that we do here, the assessment report, the recommendation report, and other information, the risk tolerance, is all available on paper, in paper format, so that if you're one of those paper folks, paper guys or gals out there that do this with the customer and don't want to have a laptop or a computer in your appointment, all of our information can be pulled into paper-driven documentation and then uploaded into the system when you get back to your office. And this is the assessment and recommendation report, and we'll go through those 3 pages that we already showed you in the previous demonstration on the assessment. And then we have the recommendation report itself. This is where we will finalize any required disclosure information that we determine either, again, by carrier requirement or by Department of Labor requirement. Right now, it covers what we believe was the latest requirements from the department, but it is early May yet, and we may have more information by the June 9th applicability date. And here is the actual recommendation, where you actually show the products, the information about the product, any rider fees, mortality administrative fees, that would be more pertaining to a variable product recommendation. But we can see there was a zeros for this recommendation. We had checked that compensation, so the customer will see the product recommendation compensation to surrender and also to mortality. If you notice, all along on every page, we ask for the initials of the customer. This is to document that they are affirming and acknowledging this information. We document what objectives have been met by this recommendation, additional objectives, the additional information about the premium, the funding source, their net worth, liquidity, the guaranteed insurance gaps that have been covered, any additional notes that you make. These are not, this is not like Twitter, you're not character limited here. And then we ask for the customer to actually sign and attest to the fact that the information is complete and accurate, that it meets their financial needs, objectives, risk tolerance, and time horizon, and that it is suitable and in their best interest. And once that is signed, that can be uploaded into your system and documentation and recorded to actually defend and protect your business from any regulatory or litigation inquiry. So that is the assessment and recommendation portion of the demonstration. If you have any questions about AssessBEST and about obtaining AssessBEST, please contact a charter member organization, a charter marketing organization. They can be found on our website at AssessBEST.com, or you can call us at 602-888-9068. And again, this is Kim O'Brien for AssessBEST. Thank you so much.